slumber too. Their presence fills the air with doom. Yet in the chaos, light may spark, even in the depths of the deepest dark. Creatures lurking in the dark unseen, silent whispers piercing in between. Some will haunt and some will guide, on land, in air, and oceans wide.
Hey everybody! Hey Scott! Hey everybody! Welcome to another episode of the Bizarre and the Unknown. I'm your host E.D. Testerman. I want to start out by saying Happy Mommy's Day to all the mommies out there. So, hopefully, all you mommies got some fun stuff today with your families and interesting things. And hold on a second.
Roll the back of my head at least brown and blue.
No, you missed parts of it on our bottom part. Sorry, guys. My daughter came in. Yeah, hopefully you guys had a good time with your family. I've been kind of working on some commercials for my books, and then I've had other stuff I had to do today, and plus laundry. So it's been a busy one. What'd you guys think of that new countdown music for the for this show here? That'll be the new one for the Sunday shows, and so hopefully you guys like it. I spent most of the day yesterday working on that thing, or the day before. Yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. But with that being said, I figured it'd be fun to continue on with this sea creature stuff. I mean, this is stuff that's that has hey Bounty, that has really fascinated me, and I know a lot of other people growing up and always talking about. Hey Tim, thanks Demiria. We always had dreams of and visions and mystique coming with the sea creatures. So, and the most noted one, which a lot of people mistaken it, which is the first one we're going to talk about, and I didn't even think about getting pictures loaded up. Daggone it. Let me hop in here real quick, see if I got some available. I can't remember if I took them down already or not. Oops, crap, wrong button. I may have deleted them already. Yeah, I did. I'm trying to clean house on here. I deleted them already. I thank you. I mean, Mother's Day's for the mommies. I'm just a daddy, but I appreciate it. I leave the Mommy's Day to the mommies. But the Kraken, and you guys have heard me talk about this several times before. The Kraken is generally associated with Greek mythology, but that's not where the Kraken originated from. The Kraken is known to be around Norway and was originated from Viking lore, Viking myths, Viking tales. So I can't remember. I want to say it was maybe 1600s, 1700s when it got associated with Greek, but that's not where it started from. The Kraken is it's described as either being a giant octopus or squid, most commonly known as a squid. And that's what I grew up knowing it as, was a giant squid-like creature. But there is some reports talking about it could be I get it. Yeah, I mean, trust me, I know. I've heard it many times. I'm a different guy, and so I'm a dude. So I stick with the daddy's day. Um, but it's still cool. I mean, y'all do what you want. I'm just a daddy. But it's they've been seen attacking ships along the coast of Norway, Iceland, Greenland. They claim that the storms occupy or accompany it, and which helps leads to the wrecks. Their tentacles are known for being like miles long. I mean, this thing is massively huge. Which, yes, in legends things get um, I just forgot the term. You get embellished, but it's still big enough to take down a ship. So I mean, it's still going to be a big dude, even if the tentacles ain't miles long. It's still a big guy. Hey, Urso. So it's not something to mess with. Now, in recent scientific studies, I believe it's the giganto squid or something like that is what is you're in a Mexican food coma. I ate this morning. I haven't eaten dinner tonight. I've only ate this morning. Yeah, exaggerated. Yeah. But yeah, it's I believe it's the Gino squid or something like that. I can't remember the exact term. But anyways, that is what they mostly believe is, and this squid's known to attack boats. So, I mean, that very well could be octopi only live 2 years these days. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Huh. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's new. Cool. I'll have to look that up. But the fact that this like the largest squid, not Gigantopithecus, it's a squid. But this squid is so large and has been documented attacking ships that this very well could be where the myth of the Kraken came from. Now, through pop culture, the Kraken got associated with Davy Jones and the Flying Dutchman. That's recent. That's not very old at all. But the tale itself of what it's happened is, I mean, it's deep in Norse mythology. I can't believe I deleted all my pictures without thinking. There's actually, Tim, there's a giant squids all over, but this one here, I can't remember. Let me look that up because that's bothering me. I can't remember the name of it. Colossus squid. Why can't I remember that? The Colossus squid. See, the largest squid is the Colossus squid, which can weigh up to 1,091 pounds and reach lengths up to 33 to 46 feet. It is considered the heaviest living invertebrate and has the largest eyes of any known animal. Let's see if I can get an image of that bad boy put up here. Find a decent one. Oh, there's a decent one right there. No, that's a giant squid. No, I want a colossal squid. Give me a second here. I'm going to look up an image of this bad boy here for you. It keeps giving me a giant squid, and I don't want a giant squid. I want the colossal squid. All right. That there is the Colossus squid. And you can see how this is very fitting to the stories of the Kraken. Urso, the original depictions of the Kraken is actually squid-like. Even though there is reports of them being like the octopi, the descriptions of them is very squid-like. And I grew up doing that. I mean, too. So I mean, I'm kind of biased on that because that's how I grew up as well. But this is actually, where the story of the Kraken came from was this. They believe came from this thing here. Now, there is a possibility. There is something else. I've heard some stories of 60 feet, but that's not an average. That's just like a big dude. That's just like a really big one. And it could be just one of them freak genetic things that make them 60 feet. But yes, there is reports of them getting up that big. Oops. Yeah, hold a better sea with. That's right. Yeah, you can't make a duck a goose. You can't. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, this thing is just massively, massively huge. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it could be wrong. It could very well be an octopus. Just most of the stories, if you research the old stories, the Norse stories, is very squid-like. Old maps will show pics of maybe the head areas more, maybe. Could be, Bounty, yeah. They had a lot of the old maps. That's a good point. Even a lot of the old maps depicted as being a squid. There's pads at the end of the squid arms, whereas octopus has the suckers. Yes, they do. Yeah, that is a big difference on them. Yeah. Months, probably years. Yes, they have the sharp hooks. Yeah, they do. And the sperm whale is known to eat them because the sperm whale is known to dive to the deepest parts of the ocean. And that's why they have claws all around their face, because they feed upon these colossal squids and giant squids. And these things live way down in the bottom of the ocean. So the sperm whale will dive down and eat them. And that's why these sperm whale have so many scars along their eyes and their face and their head. Battery's still missing some, but yeah, it's better.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
I got most of it.
Yeah, you got most of it. Sorry, guys. But either way, I mean, if it's an octopus or a squid, the thing's still cool. And it still strikes fear in sailors to this day. Sailors to this day still fear the Kraken and talk about seeing the Kraken. They have a bear-like octopus, has beak to rip flesh. No kidding. I was trying to remember if it's the squid or the octopus that had the beak, or if both. They have a beak like octopus and they have a bear-like octopus that has a beak to rip flesh. Yeah. I can't remember which one it was. Okay, this one here, the squid's got a beak. I can't remember. Let me look that up. That's going to... Octopus have beaks as well. Okay. That's what I was trying to remember. I'm not as fluent on my marine biology as I used to be. But yeah, I mean, if you hear stories of these ships that's got claw marks on the decks and stuff like that, that also leads very much to the squid side of it as well. At the same time, I cannot dispute the fact this could be something completely different. I mean, in all honesty, it very well could be something completely different. Yeah, they got beat. Yeah, that's why. Yeah. You're smart. But and so I mean, I can't dispute that. I mean, I really cannot dispute the fact that this could be something not talked about. Caleb made a very good point last Sunday, and they are. A lot of time, I mean, like an octopus is known to gather shells and rocks to provide a shield around them so they wouldn't get eaten. You know, they're extremely intelligent. They can take caps off of things. They can get into things that you wouldn't think they could fit. They could fit in them. I mean, they make a cat look like a chump. But but I mean, squids are intelligent too. But an octopus is extremely intelligent. Squids can do this. Yeah, the same thing as octopi. As long as their beak can fit through the hole, their body will fit. Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I mean, they can't do it to the level of the octopi, but it's not lacking much. I mean, really is not lacking much. So these things, with their intelligence and what they could do, you can see why this would lead to the possibility of it being a kraken. But a colossal squid has also been known to attack boats, like I was saying earlier. I mean, there's videos all over of them actually attacking boats. Yeah, for the most, yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, an octopus is known to attack, but that's only when it's like had no other choice, and it's pretty much being drug out and you're manhandling it. Outside of that, man, they're just going to try to get away from you. If memory serves me correctly, squids and octopi do not share a DNA with anything else on here. I could be thinking of the jellyfish, but I was thinking squid and octopi don't share a DNA strand with anything else here, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I looked that up. I mean, it's been 20 plus years since I looked that up, and it could have changed since then too. I know the jellyfish doesn't, but I'm wanting to say the squid and octopi don't as well. But back to what I was saying though, with all these other things that's hidden in the oceans that we don't know, we know more of what's on land that's in the oceans, and we know more about outer space than what's in the oceans. So the possibility of something else being there has to stay in that probability range of what this kraken is. I mean, it's just the cold hard truth, man. Octopi can flatten themselves to go through cracks we can't see through. Yeah, and they are even known to climb out of tanks at research labs. They've been known to climb out of tanks, grow across the floor, climb into other tanks, and eat what's in that tank. Squid or octopi has been known to do that. There's actually several stories, and people can't figure out how this thing can get through the lid of the tank, get over, and get into another tank through a lid, eat what's in there, climb out, and get back in its tank. There was I can't remember if it was California or Florida, one of the SeaWorld places had some octopus that they were taking care of. And they had other fish that kept disappearing every night, and they couldn't figure out why. And then they got to looking at the cameras and found this thing. It crawled out from under the lid of the tank. Hey, David, went across the floor, climbed up this other tank, through its lid, ate what's in there, came back out, and then went right back into its tank. I mean, it was freaking hilarious. But, I mean, they had this lid of this thing tightened down. So, I mean, the thing was just able to get through it. But when you don't have bones, so many things are open to the possibility. So many things are open to the possibility of it. Another one of our favorites, which the little girls of the old days used to dream of being one, and the boys of the old days used to go, man, I'd like to have one to marry this. And that's mermaids. Mermaids has captured the fascination of people and sailors throughout history. I mean, there is cave paintings in, I believe it's the Middle East is the oldest ones of these mermaids. They say that, but I mean, they also say that's a folk tale. But I've known people who've done it, and they said it helped. So I don't know. MythBusters, I think, debunked it, but I don't know because I've known people who said it helped. Now, is that because it's a mental thing and in your head because you go, oh, this is going to work. I got to pee on it, and you pee on it, it works, and that's why it works. Yeah, that's a possibility. I don't know. You know how they change things that don't want people because they want you to buy a med, so they're seeking medical help. So I don't know. I've never been stung. I've kissed a jellyfish accidentally while scuba diving, but I've never been stung. That thing was small enough it didn't get its tentacles on me. But I mean, that ran into right there in the face. And I was like, oh, crap. You grew up, so there you go. Hey, Richard. Yeah, so I mean, you're another one that I know that said the same thing, that it does work. I've just been blessed to have never been stung by one. But mermaids, and there's two types of mermaid or merfolk. There's two types of merfolk. There's what we call mermaids, and then there's sirens. Now, the sirens are the ones that's known to sing this beautiful song, guiding ships into jagged rocks, or hey, Don, or to have sailors look over the side of the ships and they reach up and drag them to their deaths, to the depths of the sea to kill them and eat them. Mermaids are not known to be that way. They've been known to be aggressive when pushed. Oh, you hate jellyfish stings? Yeah, man. I was scuba diving in Okinawa, Japan, and I was getting told there's danger. This means danger. You point at it, danger there. And I looked around, and I couldn't see nothing. I threw my hands up. I was like, what, And so they told me to move on. So I turned around and continued swimming on. But at that time, jellyfish to the face. Not every strand of jellyfish toxin can be remedied by pee. Oh, that I didn't know. I just heard both it works and it don't. So, I mean, I don't know enough about it to tell you right or wrong or indifferent. I just told, pee on it and it works. But I've heard scientists tell me it don't too. But, these mermaids, so, mermaids, are these once land-dwelling, which is one of the theories. Ammonia, yeah. One of the theories that these were a Homo sapien type of entity that walked on 2 feet that eventually mutated to be able to stay to the sea. That is one theory. Now, throughout history, you don't hear that. It's just that is a modern theory that came about in the last 40 years or so, I think it was. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know it is fairly recent that theory came about. Now, back in your ancient cave paintings, which I believe is in Egypt or the coastlines of Africa, I know it was in Africa somewhere. It may be the southern. The more I think about it, I'm thinking of the cave paintings south on the most southern tip of Africa is where these mermaids cave paintings are. But there's cave paintings in Rome and Greece and in Norway and I believe United States too. Don't quote me on that. But there's cave paintings of mermaids all over this world. So, I mean, you got our ancestors back in the day when they didn't have very good speech, but they've been able to draw, paintings on cave walls talking about these things. There has to be some kind of truth to them. Now, sirens actually come from Greek mythology, but a lot of sailors adapted the theory of the sirens. So it's kind of like, okay, so is that straight Greek mythology, even though that's probably one of the oldest, and it kind of looks that way because that's one of the oldest mentionings of the sirens, or is there something legit? Now, I'm going to point at, if not now, at one time, mermaids did exist because obviously our ancestors, drew cave paintings of them. The sirens were the watchers' wives. I've heard that recently. I've not found that in a biblical text yet, but that is a recent thing that I've heard. So I know William talks about it. I just haven't seen it, so I can't say yes or no either way on that. But I don't remember reading that in any biblical text, but I could have overlooked it too. Yes, there actually is. Yes. And the damn things will try to attack him and fight away. Enoch. Yeah, I've got the book of Enoch, and I don't remember that in there. I've got the book up there. I'll have to look at it again one day. Thanks for telling me that, so I was trying to remember which book it was, and because I remember hearing about it. I just haven't looked it up yet. But I mean, these things are. Yeah, I guess they didn't have a form of writing back in the day of Enoch. Well, no, because he wrote the book, so I don't know. Indonesia. Okay, thank you. I knew it was somewhere around in there. It was one of the oldest cave paintings in the world depicting mermaids. But, I mean, that was around 30 years ago when I looked that up. I mean, that was a long time ago when I had such a fascination of mermaids. I mean, I still have a fascination with them, just not as much as I did when I was younger. That one movie, God, I can't remember the name of it. I believe it has, oh my God, I forgot his name in it. And that is a very common theory, Don, absolutely. Like I said, the sirens come from Greece mythology, but their depiction of mermaids are way older than sirens. That's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if sirens actually exist or not. I can tell you at one point in time, if not anymore, mermaids did exist. If they don't now, African legends too far for mermaid. Yeah, I knew they're all over the world. They're absolutely all over the world. I was talking about that earlier. There's cave paintings all over the world of mermaids, but sirens come from Greece mythology. Now, I did a show on mermaids a little while back, so I'm trying to pick through my notes in my head about them because I don't have the notes anymore. I thought I did, but somehow I've lost them. I don't know if they got lost during the transfer to my external hard drive or what, so I'm going to have to look that stuff back up again. But I mean, the mermaids itself as now there is a lot of stuff came out, and William and I has talked about this, how elites are eating mermaids. So the possibility of mermaids still existing, the whistleblowers coming out at these elite parties eating mermaids, still leads me to believe, and I still believe because of a lot of video evidence, a lot of sailor tales, and stuff like this of them capturing mermaids or seeing mermaids. They still exist. But I think, Don's pretty, for me, this is just my opinion and my theory as far as sirens go. I think Don hit it on the nail on the head on that. I believe it is just the whistling of the rocks. Now, a lot of people will tell you manatees are what they mistaken mermaids for. Well, manatees are not found all over the world. So if manatees are mistaken for mermaids, why do we have depictions of them all over the world? Yes, I believe that is correct, Tim. I believe you are. I knew it came from Greece, but I believe you're right. Lesbos. I believe you're right. I believe that is. So now, could the myth have started because there was some mermaids sitting on the rocks and they heard that whistling and a led them to their deaths. And is that how the myth of the sirens came about? That is a very good possibility. Very, very good, which would make sense. My dad told me stories when on a Navy ship in World War II, a lot of them here, or a lot of their hair risers. A lot of them were hair raisers. Oh, yeah. So the siren has the bird human body. Yes, mermaids have the fish. Yes, but somewhere in that bounty is where. So there's actually two stories on that. The bird one is absolutely the oldest one when it comes to sirens, but from Greek mythology, they talk about the fish ones too. And that's why I made that suggestion. Could they have actually seen mermaids on the rock, and they heard the wind whistling through there, and of course something happened and they were unalived, and that's where the birth of the fish-style sirens came from? I believe that is a possibility. Yeah, you are correct on that. Now, the oldest ones on the sirens, absolutely, they're bird-like people, bird-like humanoids that come down and swoop down and capture sailors. Much like a harpy. Yeah, absolutely, Urso. They are actually very similar to a harpy. Yeah. Hey, Corey. Very, very similar to them. So, yeah. But I have to put that in there on the mermaid side because the mermaid version of the sirens is almost as old as the siren legend itself. But we know, I mean, so when you're stressed out or you got a lot of fear and you see something, misidentification happens very often. We see that in instances of, reports of seeing something scary, like any type of cryptid, paranormal, supernatural. Misidentification happens all the time. And that could exactly be where that mermaid-style siren legend came from, is a misidentification, like I was talking about earlier. So, I mean, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't put that out there. I think myself, my opinion, my theory, my hypothesis, that's where it came from. Yes, the Africans said they eat the children if they get too close to the water. Yes, that is a very common legend in Africa. There was a couple, I think Indonesia, and maybe Norse mythology that mermaids will do it. I think it's Norse, or is it Native American? There might be a Native American tribe that talks about it, that they'll eat children. The more I think about it, I think it might be the Native American and not the Norse one that talks about these mer folks coming up, grabbing children and even adults on the edges of water, or coming up on the ship and dragging them off. So I believe that's probably where the mermaid style sirens came from. When they come on ship and take away sailors, it's probably actually mermaids. Mermaids kidnap people too, and some return, some don't. Yeah, I've heard that. And some of the legends behind mermaids are, if they want you for breeding, they can actually change you, and where you can breathe underwater, and you can actually transform into a mermaid. That's not a very old legend, but that is a legend amongst the seafaring folk. The more I learn, the more everything here eats kids. Yeah, I know, that's what's sad. But there is several. I'm trying to remember the time frame. I'm wanting to say it was like the 15th century, 16th century, somewhere around there, where the legends come that they take men for breeding. Sometimes they return, which is the ones that don't get changed. And then the ones that don't is because they got changed. I believe that was the 14th or 15th century that actually came about. I could be wrong. It could be older, or could be much younger. I don't remember. Yeah. Yeah, we know the secret to that one. But either way, I mean, mermaids are a mythical thing. I mean, they're still, like I said, sailors to this day, like we were talking earlier, still talk about seeing mermaids or capturing them in nets. Usually, when they're captured in nets, they're very violent. They're very, very violent. Which, I mean, let's face it, you get caught in a net, you're going to be very violent too. So, this one is based in biblical um, legends. I can't eat sushi, man, so I'm good on that. But yeah, that'd be one thing to make you go, am I actually eating a fish or am I eating a mermaid? The Leviathan. Now the Leviathan is talked about in the Judeo religion. This is one of the many creatures from God. There's a certain little excretion they do in fear too that causes hey blue that causes prolonged youth, which is another reason why a lot of these things cause fear and partake in that ordeal. The Leviathan is a powerful creature from the biblical text. The massive sea monster is often seen as a representative of chaos and destruction. Descriptions portray it as having multiple heads and a fierce nature. In many religious texts, the Leviathan embodies the mysterious forces of the deep. It symbolizes God's power and the danger found in the ocean. Sailors view the Leviathan with both fear and reverence, marking their journey into unpredictable waters. Oh, veal. Yeah, veal is baby is like a calf. Yeah. Let me get caught up here. Well, adrenochrome. I don't know. I gotta be careful what I say on here. Yeah, baby cows. It's a calf. Yeah, it's a beef calf. So the Leviathan, man, the Leviathan's actually got several depictions of it. Probably the one most notable ones is, in all actuality, Godzilla is a depiction of a Leviathan. But yeah, but this is multiple heads. It's in other terms, a Leviathan in like Greek mythology would have been one of the Titans. These things were around before humans. Pure destruction and chaos is what they say. But in other accounts, the Leviathan is not a thing of destruction and chaos. But most accounts, yes, the Leviathan is a symbol of chaos and destruction. Another good term for it could be Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent. It's in the waters. It's huge. It's known to capsize ships, cause tsunamis, cause earthquakes, and stuff like this. So in different religions, they talk about something very similar. Huh. Who's eating the people graveyards have been full for a century? I don't know. I know a lot of them graveyards is getting extended around here, getting bigger. Same with eating a human. You want athletic ones? Yeah. The frogs are going nuts. I don't know if you can hear them. Yes, Don. Yep. Beef calf. But you hear in different cultures talking about these giant sea creatures that is very similar to the Leviathan. So there has to be at some, it's like I've said many a times, behind every myth, behind every legend, there's a kernel of truth to it. So if all these cultures are talking about this giant sea creature, even though it's known by many different names, I do. There's a bit voicey tonight. I must have missed something here. I'm missing something on that, Urso. I'm sorry, bud. Frogs. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, thank you, Urso. Yeah. They're right outside my door going nuts. They are freaking. It's that time of year, romance is in the air. And the Great Lakes I have in my driveways, they are perfect for frogs. Before I forget, Roxanne, the new mailing, I have to get the other one. I forgot what it is. That is the new mailing code that has my P.O. box number on it. So that little hoo-ah thing there, P.O. But yeah, that's the new mailing address code. I forgot to tell you about that. I actually just got it fixed as the intro, the countdown music was playing was when I fixed it. But so if Jormungandr, the Leviathan, I forgot the other names. If all these things are talking about the same creature, then the possibility of a Leviathan having existed at one time or still existing, there's a good possibility of it, especially when you got cultures that didn't know each other that's talking about the same thing. So, but the oldest recording is in Judeo religion, and it is the Leviathan. That's the oldest known documentation of this creature. Yeah, I've been hammered because I was sick for 2 days. I've been hammered trying to get things caught up. Yeah. They're starting to quiet down now, so there must be a cat walking outside or a snake because they just quiet down real quick. So I don't know. I mean, the possibility of them, I believe it. If they, like I said before, if they don't exist now, they did at one time. Could they have been the Titans? Could that have been one of the Titans? That was one of the names I was forgetting. Absolutely. I mean, there's Titans known to be in the water. So definitely. Firewater. Have you included the Kelpie? That's described as an octopi that mimics shape of horses. I've talked about it before. Let me make sure it's not in here. No, it's not in this one here. That was a previous show that I did on some of these creatures, but it's not on this one here. That address is Eric's Cookie and Banana Bread account. Dude, I would love to have some fresh banana bread or zucchini bread. Oh, my God. Eventually, one of these days, I may get married again. Hopefully, she knows how to make that stuff. Speaking of mermaids, the Anunnaki are depicted with scales. Yes, some of them are. I mean, mermaids is, like I said, it's steeped in. So, in all actuality, I just got to thinking about that. Even though the oldest cave painting is in Indonesia, technically, the Anunnaki would be the oldest depiction because of that god, that Anunnaki god. I can't remember who it is. That's depicted as being a man and a fish. Would actually be the oldest mermaid ones. I actually forgot about that till you said something. Tim, I appreciate that. I've got zucchini bread recipes, but man, I can cook just about anything, but I don't know what it is about baking. I suck at baking, like major suck. Inky? And was it Inky? I thought it was somebody else. Let me look that up. His brother. No, it is Inky. Okay. Man, I don't know why I was thinking it was something else. Yeah, Inky. I wonder how long it would take for it to reach Missouri. I don't put preserves in my bread. Man, the way things are going, I don't know. Yeah, Inky. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was somebody else, but yeah, it is Inky. Inky is the Sumerian god of water, knowledge, crafts, and creation, and one of the Anunnaki. He was later known as Ea or A in Akkadian religion. Oh, that might be why. Yeah, now I remember. And is identified by some scholars with La in the Canaanite religion. Salah. The name was rendered Eos within Greek sources. He was originally the patron god of the city of Eridu, but later the influence of his cult spread throughout Mesopotamia and the Canaanites, Hittites, and Hurons. Yeah, Enlil. Yeah, I remember Enlil. Yep, you're right. I don't know why I was thinking something else. Then I got to reading that one about what you was talking about earlier, A and Ea, and then I got thinking. My notes started going in my head again. I went, "Oh yeah, that's right." It's been a few months since I did that show when I was talking about them, because I actually did a mermaid show. But like I said, I don't know what I did with my notes. I was looking for them as I was trying to go live, but I couldn't find them. So, and my external hard drive for some reason is not staying on. So I'm trying to search through that thing to find that, and it keeps dying on me before I can get too far. So I'm like, I'm done. I just pulled something up on the internet real quick. Sea serpents and dragons. Now, this is Jormungandr is known in Norse mythology as a serpent, but I had to put it in there with the Leviathan as well. Hey, Larry. They do. And we noticed that with a lot of things, Tim. That's like I've said, a few times already tonight. All these cultures have a story of the very similar thing. So, changing names through the generations, or, look at this. If we go to Judeo religion, before the fall of the Tower of Babel, we spoke the same, we looked the same, we thought the same, we believed the same. And then when the tower fell, Yahuwah split the tongue and made us look different. So this is why I think a lot of religions are very similar in the core values, because of that right there. That's just my opinion, my theory, my hypothesis, because it fits with the biblical story of the fall of the Tower of Babel. So is this why, and I've stated this several times on other shows, when we're talking about these creatures and the fact that they all look the same, they just have a different name to them. This very good could be why. And this is why they have the same creation stories and everything else is all that right there, is because at one time we all believed the exact same thing. Now, people don't realize the Jewish people actually came from Samaria. So if you study the Old Testament and you study ancient Sumerian, it's very similar, because that's where the Judeo people came from. They came from Samaria. The Sumerian culture talks about the same stuff that's in the Old Testament, the flood and everything else that goes on. Their creatures, everything else. It's all very similar, and that's why. I mean, if they came from ancient Samaria, that would be why the Old Testament is set up that way. I had a lot of old cookbooks I lost when I lost my. Oh no, I still got a lot of them, but yeah. This, yeah, I've got tons of cookbooks. I mean, I've got cookbooks for possums and armadillos and groundhogs. I mean, from that all the way up to your Betty Crocker stuff. I mean, I've got all kinds of cookbooks. I love cookbooks, but for some reason, I just can't bake to save my life. So, these serpents and these dragons that is seen in the seas, I believe that can also, so before the word dragon came about, or a dinosaur came about, we know these things as dragons. So, dinosaur was coined in 1864. So, up until 1864, what we were seeing or finding remains of was dragons. So, could some of these sea dinosaurs be what we call dragons, water dragons now? Absolutely. Who are the 4 old ones that was asleep? Not the Christian 4. Chained angels, those 4 are older. I'm not sure. That don't sound familiar. Actually, I believe I do. I'll have to look. I got something granny. I know I've got some granny cookbooks, but I can't remember if it's Clampett or not. I do have some granny cookbooks, though. The old original Betty Crocker cookbooks that my young child bride stuff. Man, I still got mom had some. I bought some from thrift stores. I inherited mom's cookbooks when she passed from this realm. I love that stuff. Yeah, the Betty Crocker ones are my favorite by far. So that's why I pose this question. When we're talking about sea serpents and sea dragons, are they talking about what we call dinosaurs nowadays, or is it leviathans, or is it both? I believe it's probably both. I'm a firm believer. I believe it's 2 separate things, but I believe they're 2 different entities. And so I believe it was either what we call dinosaurs nowadays, which was called dragons for years and years and years. And I believe they're probably Leviathan style or Titan, however you want to put it. I mean, I made that comparison earlier with Jormungandr, the world serpent. I mean, that's a big, no worries, Don. A big possibility in my eyes. I mean, that's just me. That's my opinion, my theory, my hypothesis. I do not know that one, Tim. What? That does sound familiar. Why does that sound familiar? God, that name sounds familiar. Oh, the actress. That's why. I didn't even have to finish time. Is that the one that was a hermaphrodite? Had both? If I remember correctly, one of the actresses, I don't remember which one, had both reproductive organs. Yeah. Seems to happen. You guys always get me on a tangent of food, and I haven't eaten since like 7:00 this morning, which my blood sugars were acting up a little bit ago, so I'm going to have to end up eating before too long. But anyways, let's get back to this one here. Sea serpents and dragons are common in many mythologies. These creatures are often symbolize strength and power. Many legends describe them as guardians of the treasures or divine beings controlled the ocean's secrets. In some tales, sea serpents are depicted as giant snake-like creatures that terrorize sailors. Others portray them more positively as protectors of the sea. The duality of these creatures reflects humanity's complex relationships with the ocean's vastness. I believe there's more to it than that there. There is. I didn't know that, Roxanne. There's a mutation where there are no human organs. I did not know that. How the barbecue, man. I need to check my cookbooks. I probably do have one of those in there. The giant chef girl. Okay, I gotta look her up. I remember the name. She's an actress. I didn't know that. Being around Hawaii, I mean, mermaids are known very well around Hawaii. So, I mean, I can see that being a possibility. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I'll try anything once. Oh, never mind. That's why I thought she was an actor. Oh, she is in movies too, though. Okay, never mind. I was right. She was in movies too. Okay. Screw you. I don't want to sign up for crap. I hate that. You sign up here to read our stuff. No, thank you. Smoking hot sauce. Balance. Smoked mullet. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm gonna try anything once. Yeah, there is. I mean, there is known as some freshwater mermaids. Absolutely. Huh. Man, I don't know. She's not the one I was thinking. I was thinking one that played Ripley in Aliens. I don't know what's in the sauce. Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no kidding. The one I was thinking about was the one that was in Aliens movie that played Ripley. She's the one I've heard tell. I don't know. I mean, it was something that was going around for a long time that she had both. So, I mean, we see videos and hear tales from all these other lands of these giant, humongous snakes. Yeah, that's true, man. So, I mean, is these giant snakes, are they what remains of these, sea serpentine things? We know in a lot of ancient maps. So that's it. Thank you, Sigourney Weaver. Yeah, that's who it was. That's who I was thinking of. Is that the ribbon? Because things evolve. Things get bigger. Things get smaller. So could they have left the ocean and went to these other areas? Possibly. Did they exist at one time and no longer do? Yeah, that's still very possible. The fact that, the fact that they're on ancient maps, some of the oldest maps in the world, and they're on cave paintings around the world, leads you to believe that these things existed one time. Now, we can't we can't leave out the fact that they mistaken these things for what we call dinosaurs now, but they were dragons then, and that's what they were actually seeing was these dinosaurs. Yeah, yeah. I can't say no. I mean, I'm not going to purposely go out and hunt one of them Bigfoots, but if Steve Lilly's correct, I don't want to. I seen that, but that was, to me, that screamed AI. That photo screamed AI. Yeah. And a lot of reasons I'll tell you, the water did not move with the motion of that snake. So the fact that the water did not churn the way it should with a moving snake automatically screams to me AI. In fact, I believe that's already came out and been admitted that was debunked and is actually AI. I don't know. That's what I thought when I saw it. To me, right off the bat, that screamed AI because I was watching the movements of the water and it did not fit. Okay, so it's not the one I'm thinking of. Okay. Yeah, the one I'm thinking of, it was swimming up a river, and it just didn't go with it. Okay, so no, I don't think I know which one you're talking about. But the one I'm talking about, I've seen, it was like a week ago, and it was going up a river there, and it just, yeah, it is. Hey, Vicky. Man, that really screams AI to me too, Tim. And I'll explain why. These shadows don't fit in that pic, which is what mainly stands out to me on that as being AI. And the fact that the pterodactyl itself doesn't look right. I could be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. But when you look at the shadows, they don't fit. I need to see that then because I don't know. I don't know. The one I was thinking of was one I saw a couple weeks ago. And I thought they said that was in Vietnam. I could be wrong. Did you know that there is a story of a huge snake in Missouri years ago? A farmer came across it on a tractor. He could not go over the snake. It was that huge. No, actually, I did not. I need to find that story. I did not know about that one. I know they found pyramids and giant bones and stuff like that all through Missouri. Yeah, I appreciate that, Urso. Yeah, because I don't know that one. Unless I'm wrong and I just forgot about it, I don't know that one. Which I can't pull up my pit. Well, actually, I may be able to look it up again. You know, when you run across stuff like this here, actual stone where you see the scales and everything. Let's see if I can make that larger. Yeah, I can make it. You know, you can see the scales and everything into this. And this thing is this big. This is, to me, my opinion, straight up mud fossil right here. This is straight up a mud fossil. And this is unearthed in the Naka cave. Huh. But when you're finding this stuff all over the world, I mean, there's heads of them right there. You know, I mean, and the scales, the details on these scales, that wasn't carved by man. I'm sorry. I'm a firm believer that was not carved by man at all. I mean, these dang things are pretty daggone detailed. So if you got this stuff on land, we know they go in waters. Could that be where it came from in these sailor tales of these serpent style sea monsters? Absolutely. I mean, you got something that big, it's going to be out there hunting. So that is definitely a possibility of a good reason for a serpent style sea monster. We're talking about sea creatures from sailor mythology, Vicky. We talked about the kraken, mermaids, and some other stuff like that, and then we're on the sea serpents and dragons now. Oh shit, it's an hour. Let's do some Dark Angel Medical. I just realized it's the top of the hour. Here. And hopefully that played on your end because it didn't. It froze up on my end. Man, all my stuff's been working great, and now it's not. Go figure. If you're looking for the best trauma kits or first aid kits on the market, look no further than Dark Angel Medical. If you have FHA, FSH, blah, 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 I can't even talk today. You can use that to buy Dark Angel Medical kits. Kerry Pocket Doc Davis is the godfather of kits for life. If you use his kits to, actually, I forgot to put the code up. Oh, shit, what is that code? Oh, thank you. There we go. That makes it easier because I can remember more stuff when I can read it. If you have FSA or HSA, you can use that to buy the kits. Kerry Pocket Doc Davis is the godfather of Kit for Life. If you use that kit to save somebody's life, he will replace that kit for absolutely what you use in that kit absolutely free. His medications have a 2-year shelf life on them. For now, use Cryptid20 because I've not got an email back from him yet on my code. So use DA's code Cryptid20 for 20% off. If you can, I know you're going to pay for it because you pay for what you get, and yeah, these things cost a little bit of money. They're absolutely 100% worth it. I have to do it, so I mean, this is an option for you guys too. Use Sezzle. I think it's like 4 payments, maybe 6 payments. I think it's 4 though, and then that kit's paid off. That's how I buy my kits. I take Dark Angel Medical with me out in the field when I'm researching and investigating. And I have one in my truck everywhere I go. I do not get a single dime for promoting Dark Angel Medical. I love Kerry's products so much that I asked him to be able to promote it. You can go on his YouTube to Dark Angel Medical 5115, or you can go to his Instagram at Dark Angel Medical, and Kerry puts out videos of how to do proper first aid in trauma. I highly recommend going to these locations and looking up those videos. They are a wealth of information that is very, very valuable. Let's see where I left off on my comments. That's the Congo. Okay, here we go. All right, Heifer. Do you think we are being tested by someone to see how much we believe in what we see? So when the aliens invade, we will panic and not be and be more controllable? that's a possibility. I don't think so, but that is a possibility. Um, I personally believe things are purposely hidden from us because it caused mass panic and chaos. Because we've been so brainwashed to believe a certain way that our minds cannot fathom the things that's out there. So definitely that's where I believe, but that's just me. There are sea snakes that many never seen because there's no sketches. Uh, Damn, that sounds like a military grade helicopter. Damn, that thing's low and close too. Um, I just read Clark and Team Odin fighting dragons. No kidding, I haven't seen that one. Book four, yeah, I haven't. The only ones I know is the ones I read on or he listened to on audio because I just don't have time to read. Yeah, I got it, Roxanne. I'll check it out in a little bit. The Heart of Iron, yeah. I definitely say something or someone, whoever is changing a bunch of info. I could see 5 different blends in the world. Could be more. Who knows? Maybe it's just to test our breaking points. Possibly. I mean, that is definitely possible. Possible. All I know is I feel like every other time I found myself in a false reality type testing thing, that soul level feeling, I don't trust anything else right now. It is very very hard, very very hard to trust anything right now because there's so much disinformation going out. I believe there is content creators. I believe there is website creators and stuff like that are purposely putting out false information to keep us off of the trail of what's actually going on. I'm a big believer in that. I'm not going to mention names. We got military copters around here sometimes. Me and my mom joke that Bigfoot got out again and they're searching for. I've been seeing a crap ton of military vehicles for the last 3 or 4 weeks, traveling every single day up and down 65 Highway and I-44 here in Southwest Missouri. For the last 3 weeks, every single day, at least a couple times a day, I've been seeing military vehicles traveling. One's traveling south, and the other one is traveling east. No, west. Sorry, west. It's memory they're testing and rewriting. Mandela effect is real, but also to test who remembered and who didn't. Let's them keep track of who's here or from another dimensional space. Possibly, yeah. I mean, that is possible. I can't say no. I can't agree to it. And I can't disagree to it. That is a very good possibility. For me, I just believe they're trying to keep us off track of what's actually going on. You know, that's just me. Um, but the fact with the Mandela effect and the emergence of 2 different dimensions is definitely a possibility. They've been doing that. They've been having those there for years, and I remember that stuff back in the '80s going on there and off the East Coast and the West Coast. I mean, all around it, they've been spotted there. I love the comment there, Brownie. So, back on this stuff here. So, I believe that these sea serpents and sea dragons we're talking about is 2 different things. I believe it's what we call dinosaurs now, but I also believe they're a Titan style creature that's out there. I'm a firm believer in they're 2 different ones. Definitely possible, or so, yeah. No, they're not, Vicky. They're not. I got to be careful what I pop up here because I'm under a warning. So I've got to catch myself from time to time. That's true, Roxanne. I'm just saying for me because I was alive in the 80s. But yes, the 50s is also. I mean, they've been doing that stuff since World War II. Let's be honest. Since World War II, they've been all around. So yeah, I remember in the 80s that stuff happening. Yeah, I just have to be careful what I pop up on the screens. I mean, I think they can still ding me in the chat too. I don't know, but I'm trying to be cautious and at least not try to pop it up on the screen. So, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff comes from there. I mean, last week we was talking about the Flying Dutchman and Davy Jones and Davy Jones' locker. All this stuff has to have some kind of. It didn't last long. It flew by pretty quick here, Vicky. Okay, that's what I thought, Roxanne. That's why I'm trying to be a little cautious. Because I got to be a good boy until July, whatever it was. Hey, 2A. Long time no see. How you been? But there has to be a truth to it. I mean, if these sailors are still believing in these things to this day, there has to be something to it. It can't just be, one story passed down from mouth to mouth to mouth. I personally have seen some very weird things out in the ocean. Extremely. Oh, that's good, bro. I'm glad to hear that. I am very glad to hear that. I've been on a lot of military ships out in the ocean. That's the only types of ships I've been on is military ships. And being out in them carriers and battleships and stuff like that I've been on, you see some interesting things. It's because there's times we're out. I mean, there's absolutely no land in sight. And that's why I'm not a flat earther, because not only of what I've seen from being up in the sky, but what I've seen out in that ocean when there's no land in sight to take away from your vision and you can see the curvature of the earth. That's why I'm not a flat earther. I'm sorry, man. Missouri, the show me state, I seen it. It showed me, I believe. And people say, oh, you can't do that. How you can tell me what I can and can't see? I've seen it with my own damn eyes, So, believe what you want. I mean, I ain't going to tell you not to. Me personally, I don't because of what I've seen. And I can tell you, man, I've seen dark shadows, which, yes, in some instances, could it be a school of fish? Absolutely, it could be a school of fish. Could have been a whale? Absolutely. But some of these dark shadows that I've seen that's bigger than a aircraft carrier, that's not a school of fish. That's not a whale. There ain't no school of fish or whale bigger than an aircraft carrier. sorry. Just not. The weird glowing stuff I've seen out in the oceans. I mean, I've seen some megalodon. Yeah. Well, megalodon ain't even bigger than a aircraft carrier. And I've seen shadows that was bigger than an aircraft carrier. Yeah. Megalodon's what, 40 feet? 40, 50 feet long? Aircraft carriers, massively huger than that. Way huger than that. And that's where me coming in with the Leviathan thing started from, is because the crap I've seen out in that ocean. There is some weird stuff out there. I've spent many a times on the oh my God, I forgot what it's called. It's on the side of the ship and it's open. I forgot what we called it though. Anyways, I spent a lot of time there because it's either that or stay in my little coffin I was like, oh, man, I'm just going to sit out here and watch the ocean. No, I'm saying the shadows I seen, Freaky, was bigger than the aircraft carrier. There's shadows under the water I've seen it was bigger than an aircraft carrier. It's good to see you here, Freaky. 60 feet. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I knew I was somewhere close around that. Yeah. Man, I've swam with sharks and all other kinds of things. I mean, I won't tell you that the attacks don't happen because they do happen. But be honest, as amount of people's in the water, a shark attack or attack from the other thing are way rarer than what people put it out to be. I've literally scuba dived with sharks. Had sharks swimming around me while I was scuba diving. Never got bothered. I mean, they're curious, but most of the time they stayed away. Some of them get curious and come in. You just bop them on the nose and they take off. Grab them by the gills, they take off. I've heard that once. I've not read up on that one, Roxanne, but I have heard something, a scuttlebutt about a black shark once. But I didn't know if it was in the Baja or not, but I have heard scuttlebutt about a black shark before. So, I mean, I played with sea snakes. I played with puffer fish. I mean, I've played with all kinds of things scuba diving out in them oceans. And I tell you, I'll do it every single time. That is, going scuba diving is just such an amazing experience. And the life that you see out there, along with everything else, man, it's just, I love it. Yeah, but that's made for ratings, Vicky. People and ratings, what gets good ratings is fear. I've been here except for an accidental nap. Well, geez, thanks, God. My voice puts you to sleep. If you need help going to sleep at night, watch Edie Testerman's podcast. It will help you sleep. Guaranteed. Submarine in the Atlantic off the coast of Africa most of the year. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, you sitting in a long cylinder tube full of semen, you can probably see a lot of stuff. Geographic has done a video trying to find it and talk to people who have seen it and how big it was on YouTube. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, they do. So the most common ones that's going to come after you is makos, bull sharks, and I want to say tiger, but I keep thinking, I want to think it's something else. That's true, Scott. You did say that. Submarine is known as megalodon shark stabbed above right eye. I've heard of a submarine attacked by one, but that may be what I'm thinking of on that one, or so that could be exactly what I was just thinking of. Don't go into water where there's something that is big enough to eat me. I love it, man. I love being out there. 1935. I didn't see that part. Oh, yeah. That might be the one I'm thinking of, or so. I remember hearing something about a megalodon attacking a submarine. It might be the same story. I don't know. Minudu. A lot of people are, man. A lot of people are, but I can tell you, man, I have scuba dive places all around this world. I'm still here. I mean, I tell you, it's been hitting me harder more and more every year, Scott. I've been catching myself more and more every year as wanting to take a nap. Excuse me. I had a meeting to go to earlier, and When I got home, I got straight back to work where I left off before I went to the meeting. Hey, Isabel. My ancestors were whalers. I love the ocean. Man, dude, the ocean is, it's so beautiful. I mean, so beautiful. And such amazing experience when you're underneath that water. I love it. I have yet to do a freshwater dive. I've got my scuba gear sitting in my closet here in my office. I just don't have my tanks. I need to get my ass in gear and get with somebody and get down and do some freshwater dives. I've never dived freshwater. I've always dived open ocean. Even when I got my certification, my PADI certification, I never did a pool dive. We did all ours in open ocean. So every single one of my dives has been open ocean. There's pictures of what it's wound in the 40s with saying wound, and it's been in. Oh, so it's still coming around even in 2017. Same scar, but don't know about the recent confirmed sightings of scar. I mean, the fact that it happened back in 1935 and they're still seeing it in 2017, that's pretty damn impressive. I think, man, the more you two talk about that, the more I think it's the exact same thing I was thinking about. I heard it when I was in the Corps. I heard about stories when we were out on ship of a megalodon, because that was one of the things sailors used to talk about. Oh, we got to keep an eye out for megalodons, especially with these small boats. And I'm like, what? Come on, them things are extinct. And then that's when I heard about the story of a submarine being attacked. I could have misunderstood it. It was actually a submarine hit one, but I'm wanting to bet that because the scar sounds familiar and everything, so I'm wanting to bet it's the same story. The old sailors thought it was bad luck to know how to swim the Azorian Portuguese ones. Anyway, interesting. My Norse ancestors, which is big into whaling and all that other stuff like that, some of them knew how to swim, some didn't. I love being in the water. Oh, never mind. Okay. I was thinking about something totally different or so. Okay. Oh, now that you say that, I do remember hearing about one that harpooned one. Okay, I know exactly which one you're talking about now. Yes. Yeah, okay, I remember that now. That was back in 1935. I didn't realize it was that far back. I remember hearing the story of one being harpooned. The Black Demon in the Gulf of Mexico. I've heard of that one. I have heard of that one, yeah. Yeah, I remember now. But I was thinking, because I remember hearing stories of a submarine that was attacked by one when I was in the military. They could have been yarning me. They very well could have been yarning me. I mean, that is very possible, but I don't know. They may not have been. There's another shark named Scarf, where it had been above his eye. He comes around the boats and just stares at you and the people looking at him. That'd be freaky as hell. And probably still alive, eating people. Probably. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched a shark documentary. That's funny because I love sharks, but I cannot say that I've ever watched a shark documentary. We don't. Isabel, you're 100%. And, like Caleb was talking about last week, we have been told several times in the military, you did not see nothing, so stop talking about it. I mean, Caleb was absolutely right on that comment. Edie, that was the shark that I was telling you about that Got Geographic did on the video. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love documentaries. I really do. I just don't think I've ever watched. I think I've watched a couple, but It's been a long time. I can tell you now, shark meat is awesome. That is some good eats right there. I tell you what. Some really good eats right there. Yeah. I mean, but I watched lots of documentaries, but thing like, what is that, Shark Week, or I think it's Shark Month now. I don't think I've ever watched it. I don't think I have. Yeah. I've not signed an NDA on that. I've just told by higher ups you didn't see nothing, so stop talking about it. That's not a bad idea, Roxanne. Maybe we can keep up with this sea thing next week. I'll reach out to him. I don't think I ever have. I really don't think I've ever watched Shark Week. Not that I know of. If I did, I don't remember it, which means I was pretty inebriated in one form or another. Yeah, it is. Shark meat is hella good. It is really good. I like shark meat. Jaws is my favorite. I mean, that's the oldest one that I remember watching because I grew up watching Jaws. I watched all three of them. The second one was, what was this? The second one was the one where they're off in the Dominican Republic, I think it was. Wasn't near as good, but the other ones weren't bad. The shark is purposely hunting my family down for what I did to it. The safest way for me to scuba dive is when watching a video of other scuba diving. I need to get my butt in gear and do some freshwater dives and search for some of this, especially paranormal stuff under these waters and anything else. It is the greatest movie. Yes. Unless the one prepared the shark cut the fish beneath the skin, training the meat with urine. I don't know about that. Aunt Flo is a shark. But then I love my movie Orca, Richard Harris. I think I've seen that, or I watched like a few minutes of it. Yeah, tainting the meat. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, now, okay, that makes good. Yeah, that makes more sense now. I should have thought about that. Yeah, same with a lot of wildlife. Anything you really hunt. A week is a time during a month unless you meant a week. I mean, I know I've heard of it, but I cannot remember if I've actually seen it or not. Ain't that like a knockoff version of Jaws, Orca? It's a favorite. I was wanting to say Orca was like a knockoff version of Jaws, if memory serves me correctly. Let me see if I can find some images of the Leviathan. Oh, it's not? Okay, I couldn't remember. All these are cartoon images of the Leviathan. A lot of these look like Jormungandr. That is definitely a serpent mixed with a cave, mixed with a ship. I'm sorry, man. This is just too cool. This is just, or not too cool. This is just so out of the world. People are going to believe this is an actual Leviathan. You can see the mast of the ship, what looks like a cave, and then the serpent mouth. Come on. People actually believe that's what it is. that's just that's true, Freaky. No great white which was sued by Peter. No great white which was sued by Peter eventually for the story was the only movie that was similar to. Okay, that makes sense. It was definitely it was different. The orca comes after, like in the later Jaws movies, but it is the name of the boat is in Jaws because orcas are the only animal known to take out sharks. Yeah, dolphins are known to fight them, but yeah, orcas have been known to eat their livers. Yeah, I don't think I have either. I really Freaky. I don't think I've ever watched it. If I did, it was not very much. I can. Man, it's meat. I'll try it. No, that don't look like. Come on, that don't look like no sturgeon. I mean, look, it's only got like partial one side, the other side completely open with the mouth and the shit mass, and it don't look like no sturgeon. Come on. Great White came out in the 80s, was seen in theater one day before being banned and took out. No kidding. There's probably a reason why I don't remember it. It's an art project. Yeah. I was trying to see. They even got sperm whale up here as a Leviathan. The sperm whale is not a Leviathan. I can't find no good biblical looking picture of a Leviathan. It's all different kinds of artworks of all different. I mean, so many of these are sperm whales, and sperm whales are not Leviathans. Let me look up ancient sea maps. Get this to load up. Still, it's just that thing is just weird looking. I don't think I've ever eaten sturgeon yet. I don't think I have. Okay, yeah, this will work. This will work. Let me. This will work perfectly for a one. So here's. I didn't catch the name on it. But we're seeing, these sea creatures on here. Look right here. There's a sea creature. There's a sea creature. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. So right there, you got, on these ancient maps, you got sea creatures there, 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 there. I mean, you got sea creatures all over. Right there. So, I mean, they were literally putting these things on a map for a reason. I missed a lot of comments there, and let me see where I left off here. Yes, I agree. Isabel, I agree 100%. Are some of them misidentification? Absolutely, some of them are misidentification. Not every single one of them, though. Said pike mackerel sandwiches yesterday. I don't think I've had pike either. That's what I hear, but I honestly do not recall ever eating one. I've had cod and I've had mackerel. I had that. But I mean, when was this written? It's not going to. Look right down here. It may be hard to see pyramids. Right here, pyramids. There's another sea creature right there. Pyramids down here too. I'll have to look up the date. It don't have the date on here of when this thing was. I can't read that language. But it's got Canada and Mexico. Chichimec. The United States was called Chichimec. In Mexico. But I mean, a lot of these maps, I mean, we're seeing this stuff all over. I've had sardines and anchovies. I've had that. Not on my pizza, though. Ugh. So, I mean, if they're drawing this stuff on maps, warning people, hey, these things are here, there has to be some kind of truth to it. I mean, that's just my opinion. Okay, this is a Palolo Forlani's 1560 world map. So this map was created in 1560. I got canned fish like it's a magnet. My dad eating sardines over the sink is totally a thing. Yeah. I always had them on them club crackers or Ritz crackers. Oily fish isn't for everyone, but I love it. Yeah. Flathead cats and crappie are enjoy. I love. Yeah, we got them all over here too. TA or 2A. Yeah. Catfish is about the only thing I eat anymore. Let me pop this back up here. Let me highlight this. This is that map that we were just looking at. Because I can't say the name right. But this was created, this map was designed or drawn out in 1560. So you're looking at 1560 there. I mean, which in all honesty, in the human lifespan was not very long ago. 1560 to now. That's 500 and a little less than 500 years. Roughly. So, I mean, if they're drawing that stuff back then, it makes you wonder. Come on, you stupid thing. I want to see. This one's from 16. I forgot. Another possibility, like we are seeing them set up their fake info, false histories to teach the generations after we are gone what is these maps are there. That is, yeah, I mean, that is definitely a possibility. Fun fact, a zebrafish has a regenerative eye cell enzyme that regrows eye cells, and the zebrafish never goes blind or loses its eyesight by any measure. Oh, yeah, no, I think I heard that. Yeah. But my favorite is when I can get smoked salmon from Antarctica, California. I had friends. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to get this enlarged where I can see it better. It's not letting me do it. Huh. Here's one. They say it's the oldest sea map. I don't know. But look at all these other. I mean, you got weird land creatures on here. A sea serpent attacking the ship. I'm going to say that's probably hurricanes. Another type of sea creature there. And look at these land creatures right here. They're almost fish looking. So I mean, we're seeing just a history of this stuff being out there. Well, there are all these cartoons that they made on manuscripts in Europe of killer bunny rabbits. Yeah, they were bored and would draw. I think I remember hearing something about that actually now. Hamed Muhid put in Ben Hachi Mihib. What did the person make in 1513? Well, I mean, wasn't a Pirates map from that time frame? If my memory serves me correctly. This is from 1665. 1665, they're still showing tree creatures, even on their maps. This was from 1665. This is off the African coast. Ethiopia. Oh, okay. This is from Ethiopia. They got different. They got sea creatures, even on this one back in 1665. Oh yeah, I do too. So I mean, we're seeing a still even closer time frame. Even we're still seeing them on those maps. Ain't they got some that's like 80 years old, if memory serves me correctly, or maybe even older? This don't give me a date. I don't know. I mean, this has got all different kinds of weird sea creatures on it. Magic mountains and sea serpents, the secrets of early ancient maps. So I don't know if this is a real one or not. I mean, you got sea. Oh, and that fits with that one we just seen a little bit ago. This is just a colored version of it. I remember that and that right there. But I mean, this map here. I mean, look at all these sea creatures on here attacking ships. And there's a flying fish. There's a narwhal. I wonder if I can make that bigger. I know that feeling very well. I know that very, very well. Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. I was trying to think off the top of my head. That's why I was like, man, that sounds familiar. Trying to see if it'll let me make some of the larger fish live long time. Turtles, yeah, turtles. I know, man. I've known turtles that's over 150 years old because old people make them. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Okay, it won't let me enlarge it. So let me go back. But I mean, prime example. I mean, this is stuff that we see all the time. from our ancestors. Yeah, unicorns are on them. Narwhals are unicorns. I've often wondered that. Yeah, as I say, unicorns at sea, very good possible. Yeah, actually, I have. In Hawaii, they had one that they had tagged that came into, it might have been K Bay, and it was known to be over 150 years old. So, yes, actually, I have, Roxanne. Ah, now there goes one of the kittens. There are way too many of these maps that show these creatures on them to only be a myth. Firewater, exactly. Yes, dogmen and other types of werewolf creatures are on them as well. Yes. They are too cute. Okay, I'm a little. I love all animals. They always, yeah, I mean, I do too. They look good off the plate and on the plate. And myths about unicorns is you can see them in the waves. Yeah, that is a very big myth of them. Yes. The movie. Oh my God, I forgot the name of that movie. Not Labyrinth. Yes, it was Isabel. Exactly. Oh my God, it had that big demon creature wanting to marry that chick. And it unalived one of the unicorns. What is the name of that movie? It's an old one, but it was a good movie. Had him running into the sea, and then that's why you no longer see him no more. Of course, I believe that's where the basis of they turned into whales came from. That was the storyline behind that movie. My God, I can't remember the name of that movie. It's a great movie. I believe that is one of Tom Cruise's very first movies. Legend. Thank you, Isabel. Yes. Legend. Thank you. Yes, that's it. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, that's like Tom Cruise's first movie or one of his first movies. Legend. Yeah. In Legend, the unicorns went into the sea, and that's where the theory of the turned into the whales came from. That's the basis behind that movie. So, okay, I'm done with that. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. I remember watching that movie in the 80s. Yeah, it was a great movie. I think I got that movie, actually, now that I think about it. I may have that movie. Tim Curry. No, what is the guy I'm thinking of? He's in Scientology now. Oh, my gosh. Turned out to be a whack job. Not Jim Carrey. Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise. Yes, thank you. Tom Cruise. I believe that was Tom Cruise's first movie. White Whale and Moby Dick is based on the true story. A white whale many moons ago were vicious whales. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I remember that. A little weird, but it was so beautiful. Yeah. He was the demon legend. Oh, okay. And Tom Cruise was the guy. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Yeah. Tim Curry was the demon. That's right. I remember now. Thank you. Yeah, it was a great movie. Man, he turned out to be such a whack job. Yes, he was the elf kid. Yep. Ridley Scott. Yep. Yeah, I think I got that movie. I have to look. I love it. I mean, I love them. Like Never Ending Story. I love those. I've got Labyrinth. I've got a lot of them old movies. I just like them. Yeah, you're missing out, Freaky. I highly recommend watching that movie. Legend is an epic movie. Oh, no kidding. Dude, he played a bang awesome job at a demon. Never ending story. The first one was the best. The other two, they're all right. One of them's just way out in left field. The first one was the best out of all the never ending stories. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't have the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't have that one. So we got a couple more minutes. Anybody got any last minute questions about these sea creatures? Let's remember to like, share, subscribe, man, and get this out there. Let's build this amazing Bizarre and the Unknown universe. We're having a lot of fun. We're growing every week. It's amazing. I'm truly blessed by every single one of you guys. Let's keep this growing. I didn't know he was in that one. I didn't know that. Sequels are just a way to try to cash the same check more than one. Yeah. I mean, every now and then you'll get movies that's got great prequels to them, but most of the time it's not that good. That would not surprise me. No kidding. Huh. Interesting. So, I like to read this as a poem I wrote. And guys, let me know in the comments what you think of the new countdown music just for the Sunday show that I made. But I wrote this poem. I read it at the end of this show. And it goes like this. There comes a time when a warrior falls. They leave this realm and be missed by all. Raise a glass and keep them in your heart. They have kept this realm safe and performed their part. Look to your veterans, your active duty, your EMTs in the blue line. What they do or have done was walk that fine line. When a demon comes calling on your soul, they will be there to save us all. Hold them in your prayers, for they are deserving. They all have served or are serving. Once again, from my new subscribers to my OGs, thank you guys so much. We're continually to grow. I'm continually trying to get more content out there. As soon as things slow down to work and I can get back to doing a little bit more on here, I'm still waiting to hear from you guys what you want on the membership side of it. I'm going to have to start creating special videos just for members. I'm thinking about once a month doing a live just for the members where we can kind of talk how the show's doing, how we can probably make it better. I'm going to try to start planning that. And most likely that's going to be a Friday night live for members only on the YouTube. So if that's something you guys, thank you, Bounty. If that's something you're interested in as members, subscribed members, let me know. And I'm going to try to create some more stuff. Now that I've got introduced to that Donna, that William introduced me to Donna, I've been trying to create music just for commercials, for the show, for my books and stuff like that. So I'll have those out on all my platforms. So let's continue to grow. And I'll talk to Robbie, see if he's interested in doing a shark one next Sunday. If he does, we'll continue on with the sea theme, and I'll let you guys know. Thank you, Isabel. I need to. Yeah. I mean, I've had great people. I've had DA on here. I've had Jessica. I've had Robbie. I've had William. I've had Ryan. I've had Jesus Pay on, which I need to get back with him again and see how he's been. I've tried to get hold of him a couple times. I haven't heard back, but I know he's been busy and he was hurt there for a little bit. But I've had, some amazing people on here. I need to probably start bringing more on. That's something I'm looking at doing as I'm growing. Hopefully I can get some pretty good people to come on and just kind of shoot the shit with on things. So that's something we're looking at. So until next week, you guys, peace, love, and blessings to you all. Thank you very much. You guys are truly making this a wonderful, wonderful experience for me. So, and I like to learn with you guys just as much as, I like learning by myself. So until next week, everybody, peace, love, and blessings to you all.